Hello everyone, welcome back to the Case of the Golden Idol Mysteries, the Lemurian Vampire. I didn't think to check back for new cinematic after the first case. I forget if I've been doing these after the case they solved or before the case they lead to. I saw this just now though, and I haven't clicked it, of course. But I noticed this is a number, right? Something 1? Is there like number system base 4 as I recall, or... Let's go look here, where we learned about their numbering, and see what that X was all about. It was 4 triangles, and a triangle was 3, so it should be 12 plus 1? Yeah, the 12 Lemurian clans. One of them is missing, remember, but... Yeah, so 4 triangles is 12. 3 times 4, plus a 1. No, plus a 2. I keep thinking the vertical bar is 1, but it's 2. A dot is 1. This is 12 plus 2. For some reason, this cinematic is labeled 14. Okay. Okay, they've got a bunch of casks of stuff. Sutul lived like a sentinel and died like a true sentinel. And now I must ask, who's ready to take his place? This is my chance. I must. As the only royal present, it is clear that I should take the title of Sentinel. Okay, sure, buddy. Okay, the Lemurian vampire strikes. So I guess the vampire is like the dweller, right? Which explains its manipulation of age. So it's I bet it's some like ancient Lemurian who's been living on this island, harvesting the locals for 300 years or 500 years or however long it said it had been in the last one. In fact, I'm not even going to look at this yet. Back up. I want to look at the previous one. How long have they been here? It was a year like 534, wasn't it? $324. Okay, close. And this explains, actually, a little bit more. It also explains the incantation expires. So if there's some vampire who's been living in the tower for 300 years... There was some, like, initial period, maybe, after they all landed here, where there wasn't really an accord between the dweller in the tower and the community. But eventually the community came to some arrangement where they could make this guy go away every so often, as long as they kept coming back at regular intervals. Right, the incantations expire. So I think maybe the Sentinel and the protection don't actually do anything, and the dweller in the tower just makes it seem that they do. Maybe he's scared these guys enough that they offer someone up every year, let's say, and the vampire sucks a year of life out of them. They don't notice a huge difference, but they do age quickly, maybe. That explains, by the way, why the Sentinel was the oldest person here. So the vampire is keeping himself young. Or herself. By getting the villagers to believe that their sentinel magic power does something. But the golden idol still works on them just fine. And eventually, the reason the incantation didn't work this time is the sentinel just ran out of life. And so when he gave some more to the guy in the with the golden idol in the tower, the sentinel died. And they're like, well, we need a new sentinel. Where really, a sentinel is like sacrificial lamb, right? Whether the villagers know it or not. And they must, right? Because the sentinel's aging twice as fast as everyone else in the village. Yeah. And that also sort of explains why this person is saying they should be doing everything to reduce your stress. Because I think these villagers sort of know. I mean, they do know that when this guy dies, they're going to need a new sentinel. And they know the sentinel ages at, like, double speed. And they don't want this old guy to, like, be stressed out and die, because it means one of them is going to have to become the sentinel and age twice as fast. Okay, so those are some pieces I just put together about the previous scenario. And you could say that I should have figured that out before I started this episode. You could also just give me a break and say, come on, whatever. Like, you know, it doesn't matter when you figure it out. But also, I think, like, watching this scenario kind of, or this little montage video thing, did prod me a little bit. Like, realizing they were going to elect a new sentinel. It's like, oh yeah, they always have to have a sentinel. I don't think the thing in the tower cares at all about their protection object. Okay, so here we are. Sector, Mystery 2. Wait, what was this title? I forgot. Oh, the Lemurian Vampire Strikes, right? Yes, it says it down here. The first time you click, it puts it in the center of the screen, but after that, it's just, you can see it at the bottom here when you mouse over. Okay. So... wow. Am I going to learn the word door? Yes. Large door that has been forced open. Okay, so... this guy is super old. That's the Blade Master. This looks like Zubiri. Is this the prince who became the sentinel and is suddenly a skeleton? No. This guy is a skeleton with a crown. Maybe... because Zubiri, I think, understands about the Golden Idol. His dad told him. And he was looking for his chance to get access to the idol, maybe, but the prince got in the way. So maybe he's explaining to these guys what's happening here. We must be inside the tower, right? They found an old skeleton here with, like, a crown. And Zubiri... we've seen in the past this kind of hand motion they used... They used this when Alistair, Dave Gorin, and those guys were swearing allegiance to Lazarus Hurst. This kind of raising of the arm to the almost Nazi position, but not all the way. So I don't know. Maybe that's what's happening here, maybe it's not. I want to look around before I investigate specifics. Ooh, okay, so there's... what's the time period here? Nothing much seems to be changing except, like, the sky. I mean, we saw in the previous scenario, there was, like, time period 1, and then it was it was several weeks, or a couple weeks, until... time period 2, and then it was just a little bit after that we did time period 3. It's the same kind of thing again, but no guarantee that this is exactly 2 weeks again. So it started us in time 3, right? No. Yes, it did, here. This isn't inside the tower. This is... well, it sort of is. Okay, so they're in, like... oh, boat, by the way. Oh, this must be Albert Cloudsley and Oberon Geller's ship on the way in. Yeah, the ship's only there in part 3. So... if we refer back to scenario the first... we see that they have this whole, like, village, but the part that they were seen to be regularly living in was just down here, right? The kind of farm and wooden structures erected in the middle of, like, a city built out of massive stone buildings. So this seems like, you know, descendants of the people who built the city, having lost the knowledge of how to do any of this stuff, building more primitive huts in the ruins of the civilization. This was sort of brought to my attention by the fact that we're sort of up here in scenario 2, and this is the tower, right? They're right in front of the tower. This is not where they normally live. Now, if you look at scenario 2, we see that they're, like, further north than usual, right? This is their kind of normal village area, I guess. But Zubiri has brought them inside of a big stone building, I guess to explain something. Because he knows about Lemurian history. And this is the conclusion of some events that started earlier. Interesting. Well, I'm not going to start with the end. I'm going to start with the beginning. Even though the game... I mean, I don't know. The game framed it as like, here, look at the end. Maybe that would be a more helpful way to think, but I'd just like to track it from the beginning. Is it important that there are storm clouds here? I wouldn't think so. There are fish in the water. Why is this important? Does this... This is like an isolated lake. This doesn't go out to the ocean. It does go under this building, which is interesting. Am I meant to think these fish are mutated? They look basically like fish, I think. Fish are just there's a lot of weird looking fish in real life. Okay, starting here. You do not know how horrible it is when all the women in the village hate you. Kula invents new lies about me every day, and I cannot take it anymore. But I found someone who's agreed to help me out and solve this problem once and for all. Wooden cube consisting of 2 parts? Not sure what that's about. Then do not do it, beautiful Sahelia. Follow your heart. No one can make you do something that goes against your nature. Okay, so maybe this... He says then, but... He's actually the first one speaking in this little dialogue. This one said, I'm going to do something. He said, no, don't do it. Follow your heart. And this guy said, no, I have to. Someone has agreed to help you solve this problem once and for all. I mean, it must be one of the Lemurians, right? Either the prince or Zubiri. They're the disruptors here. Okay, here they are voting. And this guy's in here now, huh? 3 votes for, 2 against this time. So he must have been brought in as a... Wait. There's 6 people in here. Both the Lemurians are in here. The mottos of the Guardians. Oh, good. They have a rotating motivational log up here that they swap out every so often. Protect the weak. We listen, we plan, we organize. The diligent shall have full bellies. Always preserve the ancient practice. The ancient practice. Interesting. I bet these guys were thrilled when this guy agreed to become the Sentinel, because they're just gonna offer him up, right? Still the same year. The numbers have changed a little bit. Did we lose one male and one female? It's like 1826 before, wasn't it? Anyway, it's close. I doubt the exact numbers matter, but just in case. Could be an interesting context, like clue to some little subtle detail that you don't need to know, but would still be interesting to know. 1825-12. So yeah, this is all that's changed is we've lost one of the males, and we know who that was. It was Vito, the Sentinel, who aged out. Yes, enough of this. We must strike and bring down that monster at last. Let's go to war with it. Okay, so they do indeed know that the monster's a bad guy. I have a bad feeling about this. What if it puts everyone in the village in danger, including the children? My heart says we should preserve our ancient practice. It has never let us down. And here's a wooden cube consisting of 2 parts again. Necklace of colorful beads. Macaroni art from the kids? This is a terrible idea. Violence is never the answer. No wonder Virulus is so keen on it. But we must forget this plan and return to our usual duties. She has part of a wooden cube. Is this like a wedding ring? Everyone gets given half of a wedding cube when they come of age or something? Well, that wouldn't make sense, because only one person can carry a whole cube. It's possible that, like, you could arrange something like that, you know, give all the women 2 top halves of a cube and all the men 2 bottom halves, and when they meet up, they're like, here. When they get married, it's like, oh, I'll give you one of my top halves, you give me one of the bottom halves, and then together we each have a full cube. Like, that could be a way that this could act as a sort of wedding ring, but I don't really have a lot of evidence for that. But they were all talking about, like, oh, I can't find any women, and he's like, but he had a whole cube, right? Even the guy who couldn't find any women had a whole cube. So it doesn't seem like it's a wedding ring. Okay, fine. It's a promise cube half. You gave me your word. I have your promise cube half. I upheld my end of the bargain and voted against Momgo in the last 3 meetings. I want her. So this is... This is like a token... A debt token of some kind, right? You give someone half of your promise cube, and they have an object that proves you made a promise to them. I'm not totally sure what the utility of that would be. Like, it's fine for tracking debts and so on, but... So... Which one was Mongo? Was Mongo this person? No. Mongo was this guy, right? Yeah, Virulus Mongo. And remember, this person has some serious animosity with Mongo. And she made a deal with someone else to vote against Mongo 3 times in exchange for her. Not sure who her is here, but some bride, I guess. This person's daughter, maybe? Okay. Are you sure you can pull this off, Tissa? If you are, let us try it. They voted yes. So Tissa was like, oh, I'll fight the monster. Too long we have lived in fear of our lives. I am your new sentinel, and I say that the next time I am summoned to deal with the tower dweller, I will not just banish it, but crush it once and for all. Ooh. He has half of a promise cube. It looks a lot like it would fit hers, right? Dude, why does this guy get to vote at all? Is he a citizen? Hasn't been here that long, has he? They made him sentinel. But normally only these guys even vote. They're the guardians, the council. I guess he's been brought in for tie-breaking 3 times? And always voted with her? I am fluent in the secret language of Old Lemurian. The nature of the so-called dweller is clear to me. I will provide the noble Tissa with the right incantations to deal with it. Yeah, he has a promise cube. Yeah, I guess these guys must be citizens. They have their own promise cubes. It's day 20. They've been here for like 2.5 weeks. The council does not take me seriously. I cannot... Sorry, that's like 4 weeks. Does not take me seriously. I can't just go and bring down that thing in the tower. I need the community support before I make some changes here. It's day 27 on the island. Success. Tissa was very receptive to the idea of us destroying Dweller. His motivation may not be as noble as mine, but I must seize any opportunity. Let us hope we manage to convince the council tomorrow. So I don't... It seems crazy to me that they're listening to these outsiders. Like, they were just thrilled to make this guy the Dweller because his life's gonna get sucked away and they don't even care about him, right? They should be, like, problem solved. At least wait until this guy dies of old age before you go upsetting the apple cart, right? But, okay, they're very persuasive and influential, and the island community granted them citizenship early and is already letting them wreak change in the community. Fine. And here, we both have a whole promise cube. All the women hate you. The thing is, I can't... I can't tell what gender this person is, and it seems like that might be important. Right? Like, all the women hate you. I mean, I guess... This person isn't really saying anything about trying to find a wife, just all the women hate me. And, you know, this person who we know from the first DLC is straight, is calling this person beautiful. So, like, probably this is a woman, and just all of her friends hate her because Kula is lying about you all the time. Someone's gonna help you solve the problem. I thought that might mean, like, find me a wife, right? Earlier, but... Even though all the women hate me, but no, it's just like, I guess, dealing with Kula so that you can have friends again, maybe. Okay, numbers. Burial urn. in a weird order, aren't they? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that is 8. 9, 10. Is that 11? 6 and 5. Yeah, that's 11. 12. 13, 14. Okay, so they're going back and forth around the middle. So, are these the 14 sentinels who have died on this island since they started the settlement? 324 years over 14. I mean, that's around like mid-20s, low 20s. Around 25, let's say. So that would mean each sentinel gave 25 years to the vampire, which means they all died at around, well, not necessarily 50, because they probably didn't start giving years when they were a baby. Let's say, being very Western and biased, that they took up sentinel duties when they were 18. Then 50 years later, they died at 68. Seems plausible. They don't have a lot of modern medicine, right? Yeah, I mean, so this could be all the people who have ever been sentinels. Okay. And in the tower, the idol is being used to decrease lifespan, or it's in decreased lifespan mode, but it's not really being used. It's just like staring ominously out the window. Okay. What next? The fish are still fish. Some of them have been caught. That traitor Tissa, he and Kula have been thick as thieves in all the last votes. Okay, that does confirm that those two Promise Cube parts went together. Just this, and then one more basket of gifts to deliver to the Sentinel, and I am done. I hope that little goat enjoys what I give him, haha. Gnat? Not goat. Yeah, that's an N. So they also bring food to the vampire regularly. Well, no, this stuff is being delivered to the Sentinel. That's Tissa, right? Huh. Okay. Gifts to deliver from each guardian. The guardians are the council members. Juice? Money or honey? Must be honey, right? Tasty fish, lots of eggs. I've had trouble with the H and M in this font before, but I think that's honey. Because they don't seem to have money, right? So he's got to gather fish and eggs, I guess. He's already delivered the juice and honey. Yes, first he asked us to bring him all the shiny playstones of children. Gems and stuff. That was weird. Now he's demanding fruit juice from me. He's a difficult sentinel to please. Fruit juice? Juice, yeah. Okay. A stone knife. What is... Okay, red gourd, very bitter, cures stomach ache. Spotted gourd, seeds are good for insomnia or if someone needs to be sedated. Yellow short gourd, flesh tastes bad but seeds work well as a sweet spice for drink. So they have all these gourds, I guess. Local fish at the village lake. Red snapper, vicious flesh eater, will tear apart anything in minutes. Tasty. Green snapper, harmless but tastes like dung. Okay. If you say so. Oh, is this where the sentinel lives? He's just getting hammered in here? Is this Tissa? Yeah. This life is more worthy of a prince. And now I have some sweet honey to enjoy with the sweet juice. Tonight I will meet with you at last, my golden-haired beauty. A ring with a diamond, part of a wooden cube, cube of 2 parts. It seems kind of ridiculous to insist on gems when, like, the economy around you regards them as valueless and you have no plans to leave and they give you whatever you want anyway. But okay, fine. He's clearly very shallow and hasn't really evaluated his situation. The window's a simple opening in the wall. Jars of honey. Big clay jugs filled with, presumably, fruit juice? He wanted a bunch of fruit juice, right? Maybe he's not actually getting hammered because he doesn't... They don't make alcohol here? But he's drinking lots of, you know, sweet stuff. There's the door. It's closed with a heavy latch. It is heavy, yeah? So when they force it open in part 3, they're serious about it, I guess. Dare not try, Sentinel. I will peel your flesh until only the bones are left. So the guy who has the idol is in control of this display. Which... I thought maybe it could have been automated like some weird computer. Actually, you know, maybe... This is pretty close. Isn't it? Where are we? Here? Yeah. I mean, this is not that far from the tower. He could have some underground way to get here. And just walk in and, like, update the messages himself by hand. From the inside. Could be. Okay, start from the left. So Hylia, I'm glad you finally agreed to cooperate. Okay, this is some sort of subterfuge. I understand that you want to be concealed. Do not worry, I have done as you instructed. The Een family name will not be tarnished. So this is the person who had a plan to cast off Sahelia's cruel yoke, I guess. Good, then tell Momgo to come to my hut for your eggs. Right, she's a guardian, so she owes all the stuff that the Sentinel asks for. The basket will wait for him there. Do note that I will do this once tonight and never again. Huh. You want to be concealed. You've agreed to cooperate by, like, giving in to the demands and offering your eggs to fulfill, what's her name? Kula's obligations? Maybe? I don't know why this is on her foot, but... It happened last night. I was working with Kula when suddenly we saw someone run down the stairs to the platform that leads to the tower. I could not see who that was, but they were carrying a sack with something. Not a sack of something, a sack with something? Weird. Now, who are you? Do I know you? I don't think so. She was wise to send you to report this. Find a partner, get 2 spears, and stand guard near the tower. If the Dweller or someone in league with it can enter our village, we must be aware. So you've just happily joined up as a guard, I guess, because that's like your thing, and you want to be a good citizen, I guess. Zubiri is also guarding here. Okay, these guys are both guarding. Is this is like roughly where the where the prince is. So they're both guarding him. Zubiri, there's something strange going on here, but I'm sure these extra guarding duties are an overreaction. Nevertheless, we will have to go along with it. Tomorrow we march the tower, and the Dweller will scare your village no more. Okay. Don't even try it. This is an increased lifespan mode, isn't it? Is that where it was here? Yes. And here? No, now it's in decreased lifespan mode. So in between scenes 1 and 2, the Sentinel, or the Dweller, sucked up somebody's life. Interesting. We haven't seen evidence of that. Always follow your motto. That's a good motto to have. A little self-referential. Ah, okay, good. So here is, yes, the little tablet inside the tower that, or not the tower, the, whatever this edifice I call the computer was, that lets someone from inside update the display shown outside. Massive immovable stone door. And then the numbers 1 to 12. So a key code to get in to let you use the display. The door's back here, so you could sort of walk from the tower most of the way without being spotted. But it just seems insane. Oh, by the way, are those footprints? It seems insane to just risk, oh yeah, I'll walk up here to update the message. Even if you do it at night, like, someone might see you. If you wanted a stable situation here, you would want to install, like, you'd want an underground entrance or something. Look at that, those footprints weren't there in part 1. They were there in part 2. And they're gone in part 3. So it seems like someone from the tower did just walk here, right out in the open, and left footprints. Like, how careless can you be for a 300-year-old vampire? I think I'm done looking around in scenario 2, right? Ah, not quite. What's this? This is a beehive. And jars of honey? Or is this like... well, that's like... It's wax. It's candles, right? And honey. I'm not sure what these two things are. But at any rate, it's not all four. It's not like a sacks of presents that the Sentinel asked for. It's just like bee stuff. Okay, this is still the same 14 jars from before. Urns. Okay, and in time 3? There's less to see here. You're still in increase lifespan mode. Are you not afraid looking at the Dweller all the time? What if it looks right back and steals your flesh? Okay, so this is where we learned that the Dweller steals people's lifespans, maybe? Do you think these ancient sentinel bones will protect us? The Tower Dweller can't act from so far away. I have been staring at it all night and nothing has happened. We need only beware if the Tower Dweller moves. Then we should run to the village and warn the sentinel. Okay, so they keep an eye on it even though there's nothing they can really do about it. Because all the sentinel is, as far as we can tell, is just a sacrificial lamb. Here's the scene we started with, which I still haven't looked at. Still just fish floating there. Unclear why they're showing me the same fish over and over. Like, why is this important? Hey, sister, look what I caught. This snapper fish hid a thing in its mouth. I have a new playstone. Did you have a good sleep? I left before you woke up to get the best fishing spot. This is the diamond ring that the prince was wearing in the last time frame. There's a dead snapperfish and a stone knife. I'm well, brother. I hope Tissa learned his lesson, and both will leave me alone now. Both him and Kula, who was working with him. Ooh, hang on, look at this. Half of a promise cube. You owe someone a favor. I think this is the last stuff for me to look at. Door's been forced open. Some fried fish. An empty sack of gems? Maybe? So that was one of the things he asked for, wasn't it? Juice, honey, fish, eggs. Maybe a sack of eggs. Yeah, this is the juice. This is the honey. These are the fish. An empty sack of eggs. There was some kind of egg conspiracy going on here, was there not? Yes. Mongo should come to me for the eggs. And there'll just be a basket there he can take to the Sentinel. So there was something weird about those eggs, which makes sense. They somehow caused him to age 1 billion years and turn into a skeleton. Or, wait a minute. The fish. Like, he didn't just age into a skeleton, right? The fish ate him up. He somehow was convinced to just, like, get piranhas all over his body. Or something. There's a fish, a half-eaten fish. So he ate all the fish, but somehow still turned into a skeleton. The rat is breathing and is deeply asleep. Ah. We saw... Here? No. No. Here. Yellow... No. The spotted gourd is... What's a word for when you put someone to sleep? Is an anesthetic. It's a... somnambulist. It makes you fall asleep. There's a word for that. A soporific. And the eggs that were delivered to the Sentinel, which he ate, probably had, like, soporific seed in them. And he fell asleep, just like this rat. And someone snuck in and fed him to the piranhas and just, like, left the skeleton there. Maybe. That's my hypothesis at the moment. So there's honey and fruit juice. It was the red one, right? Well... Does the fruit juice have the properties of the fruits, or is it more about the seeds? Red gourd cures stomach ache. Yeah, so the overturned fruit juice was not the spotted one, which is the one that puts you to sleep, so I don't know. He was just getting drunk and knocked stuff over or he like died and he fell asleep and dropped it or something like that. I don't think the specific juice here is important. Although, hang on, the honey has like seed. These both have seeds in them. Right? Maybe it is important. He doesn't know. Yeah, we can only look in here during the second time frame, annoyingly. He doesn't know what properties the local juices have. But these plus-shaped things are the seeds that put you to sleep. A sedative is also a word I was thinking of. Probably more than soporific. And I'm not sure if there were any of these triangle seeds around. It was sort of hard to tell. If there were... then they would just be a sweet spice. It looks like it, right? Like, these are triangles, and these are X's. So the honey has a sedative in it. And the juice has spice in it. So this just looks like a lovely drink. It's not poison, but this is. Okay, let's start interviewing folks. Oh, we already know the word window. This is impossible. The prince bolted the door from the inside after his last gift arrived, and Giant and I stood guard the whole night in shifts. Okay. So it's not really clear how he turned into a skeleton, then. I figured, like, yeah, he ate some poison. It put him to sleep. Someone snuck in and fed him to his, like, the piranhas. But nobody could have gotten in. Maybe through the window? Seems unlikely. First, just minutes ago, we knocked on the door and there was no response. Second, we became worried, so Zubiri and I forced it open. Third, the room was empty but for the Sentinel's skeleton. Finally, then you started arriving. We have been punished by the Tower Dweller. This is its revenge. It has turned our new Sentinel to bones and escaped by the power of flight. Oh, that is actually possible, isn't it? Yes. We know that people who have the Golden Idol can fly. And we know that the person who was plotting the egg conspiracy was working with some stranger. I said it had to be one of the Lemurians, but it actually could have been the Tower Dweller. We know that the Tower Dweller somehow knows about the Lemurians' plans, because it wrote a message saying, "Don't even try it, I'll peel the skin from your bones." And then, like, the next day, here he is with no skin on his bones. So I think the prince was put to sleep by the eggs, or I guess the honey, but maybe both. It's weird because it was an egg conspiracy, but the honey was obviously poisoned, and the eggs are gone. So I don't know. A little bit weird on that. Not sure. But anyway, he fell asleep, and then while he was asleep, while everyone was asleep, except for the guys guarding the door, the tower dweller flew up here, and I'm guessing still used piranhas on him somehow. Although, why wouldn't there be more blood? Like, I don't know. I don't think the Golden Idol has the power to peel flesh from people's bones. I think he did it with piranhas. But, could be wrong. Anyway. They know it has the power of flight. I don't think he's inventing this. Okay, fine. As I ran here, I did not notice it fly away while you were forcing down the door. Could it still be here, or is it long gone? I think it's long gone, buddy. It was here overnight. Poor boy, it does indeed seem the Dweller does not look kindly on those who wish to confront it. Now we need another sentinel. Have I missed something? I was doing my morning meditation when I heard the noise. Okay, so I read these all in backwards order, but whatever. So you have your own promise cube and someone else's half promise cube. Whose is it? You? Does that line up? No, those are different. You gave your promise cube to, I believe it was the prince, right? Back in the previous thing. Yeah. That's hers. So someone else owes you something. That's interesting. You. Lat lines with you. I hope Tissa learned his lesson and will leave me alone now. So you probably didn't intend to kill Tissa. You did a favor for this no. You, the blonde person, promised this person something and haven't yet paid out. Like, this person did you a favor somehow in allowing this guy to die. You're pretending you didn't hear something, but I think you did. What's up with this necklace? Why are we being shown this necklace again? There's nothing, like, important about the necklace or anything, but why are you drawing my attention to it? Like, why does it exist at all? Where did I... Yeah, here. It's still the same 5 beads, right? It's not like something changed in that. Yeah, those are basically the same. Huh. I mean, I think what happened is that you... So I think Tissa was trying to get this woman by, like, voting together with the Guardian of Women, right? And this person was kind of the, I don't know about the rival, but was disliked. The, not scapegoat, what do you call it when you pick on somebody? The victim of bullying by the Guardian of Females, maybe. And so this person worked with the Tower Dweller to poison the prince with a sedative, so that the Tower Dweller could fly in here and feed him to piranhas, or some other way remove all the skin from his bones. Or, you know, maybe this isn't even the prince, right? Maybe he just, like, came in, shot the prince in the head, or, you know, whatever, some other way to quickly end his life, replaced him with a skeleton, put the crown on the skeleton, and flew away to deal with the body more discreetly. That could happen too. Alright, so what am I supposed to learn? Show known information? What do you mean? Okay, got it. So this is stuff that I am supposed to have known from previous things, aside from just words I have now. Okay, so there's a lot to do here. Which Guardian planned to send which gift in chronological order? I thought they each delivered each of them. Maybe not. Well, I mean, someone put... Well... Sedative. I'm not totally sure yet. Like, it looks like it was in the honey. But why wasn't it in the eggs? I don't quite understand. Maybe there weren't any eggs. Maybe this Guardian was supposed to bring eggs, and someone said, yeah, sure, I'll just have him get the basket from me. It'll be eggs. But they actually just brought more honey. And he ate the honey and got sedated. Could be. That was brought to Tissa Gamini. Yes. That much is correct. The night immediately before the murder, someone managed to... maybe steal... the... I don't know about that. Like, maybe a fish? I don't know. Weeks before the murder. Sahelia... I think. Sahelia Ian became indebted. Right? You're currently indebted, and this happened in the past. Weeks before? So you haven't yet given away your promise cube half, but you're about to. Well, but this was like the night before, right? Or pretty close to it. This was weeks ago. You became indebted to Tissa, right? That happened very recently, a long time ago. Yeah, okay, hang on. So this is like here. No, this button. So the Guardian, Kula Stirna, became indebted to Tissa because he kept breaking ties in her favor. And then Sahelia became indebted to... I forget already. You're indebted to... It's the other woman, right? On the other Guardian? The Guardian of Children. Yeah. Right. I think the Tower Dweller wanted to punish the Sentinel? Something like that? And so accessed the Sentinel's Lodge. Wanted to punish the something. Huh. Why are these brown/gold? What brown word could you put here? Those are all names. Planned to deliver, I would have thought all of these would be gold. A gift for the Sentinel. Right? And we can fill in some stuff. They're afraid of the Tower Dweller. That's simple enough. The skeleton of the dead. Not so sure it's Tissa. Might be. So this person had been sedated with honey. That's known. And the person killed, we know that too. It's Tissa. Using a window, we're fairly sure. I think access the Sentinel's Lodge. The blank, that's what's killing me. Wanted to blank the... Wanted to preserve the golden idol, maybe? Actually not punishing a person? Maybe they wanted to preserve the ancient practice. Yeah, because you are somehow involved here, right? And you were the person who said we should preserve the ancient practice, right? Here? Yeah. So you wanted to preserve the ancient practice and killed Tissa. So I think it was you again. Sahelia became indebted to her just shortly before. Which doesn't seem quite right. But I think you're the one who wanted to preserve an ancient practice. In, through, and to. The murderer left through a or hid in a. Well, I guess actually if it was Lavu Mata who was going to kill this guy, how did she get in through the window? Someone could have left through a window, but I don't think she could have. All the gross fish are here. The yummy fish have been eaten. So they're saying I didn't see it fly away while you were forcing down the door. So it didn't fly away recently, but it could have flown away a while ago. These guys just showed up in the morning and were like, "Hey, Prince, what's up?" And he didn't answer because he was dead. And then they forced the door down. So the killer, like, ran away a long time ago, right? The prince bolted the door after the last gift arrived. But the last gift was supposed to be eggs, and the bag of eggs is empty. Is there actually a person in here somehow? Maybe with the golden idol, someone disguised them. Like, it seems crazy, but like the person involved in the egg conspiracy, Sahelia. No. Here? Yeah, said, sure. Just tell him to come get the eggs from me. There'll be a basket, and he can carry it in. You want to be concealed. She only has half a promise cube. Because she's in debt to Tissa. I still don't really understand how Sahelia became indebted to Lavu. Like, clearly it happened. At this time, she's not indebted, right? But then she was, by the time the murder occurred. I guess the reason these aren't all yellow words is that one of the Guardians planned to deliver, like, a person to kill him, right? We're thinking that somebody snuck in under disguise of being a basket of eggs. Right? They came through the door, however that happened. And killed him. Who had been sedated with honey. So It seems like multiple of the villagers had to work together on this, right? The guardian who delivered honey had to poison the honey. And the guardian who was delivering eggs actually delivered a murderer. Huh. Afterwards, the murderer... What if... What if that isn't quite what happened? Well... Shoot. I thought for a moment that maybe Zubiri had orchestrated all of this. Had hidden inside the basket. Snuck out, killed the guy. And then hidden and waited for the tower dweller to come in to, like, take the skin off his bones so that it would look like a more scary death. Then snuck out and killed the tower dweller so he could steal the golden idol. Right, the murderer hid in a basket or something. And they found the skeleton of the dead... It doesn't have to be Tissa, a skeleton, right? Like I said. They could just put any old skeleton here. Like, right? They have a bunch of... hang on, what's going on with the burial urns, actually? Oh, look at that. Is there... This one almost looks like it's been smashed? Am I crazy? Maybe it isn't. It doesn't. I don't know. But... do these all look the same? Like, this one, the lid is ajar. Did it look like that before? Does in 2. But in 1, it's all on straight. So I think I was right earlier when I suspected that these were not Tissa's bones. They grabbed an ancient sentinel's bones and put them in here. Yeah. So this required several people working together, but like, where is this? Must have been day 1. So he's saying, oh, I'll talk to Tissa. And he put in his diary, yes, it worked. Tissa was receptive to the idea of us destroying the Dweller. And... these two came to the council and said, hey, I think we can kill the Dweller. But they lied about how they were going to do it and why. Zubiri probably just said, oh, you know, I know some magic words that'll turn the Dweller into a fish or something, right? Something, whatever, just anything that would sound convincing. But his plan... well... right, he said Tissa will have the right incantations. So, maybe, though, what happened was... Zubiri snuck in here in a basket. And did actually kill Tissa, who had been sedated. Well, but he didn't. He was guarding the door. But I think there's some sort of subterfuge like that. Zubiri orchestrated this so he could get access to the Golden Idol. And I wonder if maybe Zubiri is the one who wrote this. Well, how would he know the secret code? I don't know. Well, actually, 5 of these buttons sure show a lot more wear than the other 7, don't they? So, maybe he figured out the passcode, maybe he found it written somewhere in ancient Lemurian, which only he really knows how to read or something. He broke in and wrote this. Because this was a threat he knew how to make good on. He stole the bones of ancient Sentinel number 4. Somehow. It's not clear how he got the time to do this, but let's say he did. The honey and the fruit juice are already here. Which I guess means the poisoned honey must already be here as well, right? Because nobody brought any more honey. So the fish were coming and then the eggs were coming. Like, I can fill in some of this. Like, we know who was supposed to deliver fish, because they're right here fishing, saying it'll be the 3rd thing we deliver, right? If we look here. And we know the eggs were supposed to come from Momgo, but also maybe Momgo planned to poison him, so I don't know. Anyway, I don't think so. Tasty fish. So not the green ones, I guess, although he brought green ones anyway. Veerless. Oh no, Mongo is 4th? Huh. Because this clearly is Veerless Momgo, right? No question about that. And he was going to deliver fish, and he was going to do it 3rd. The interface is clunky for this one, where you have like a toggle between what to show you. They kind of had to do that because they wanted to include more stuff, but it just like makes it awkward to do it. There's so many dimensions to work with in this one, right? Which scene you're looking at, which part of the information panel is showing, what the time is. It's crazy. There's just a lot of navigation. So it must, like, eggs here, right? But eggs are the last thing that the Sentinel asked for. But I don't know if that's the last thing someone was actually going to deliver him. And I don't know, it's weird because... Momgo, come to my hut for your eggs. Okay, so, right. This person was responsible for delivering eggs. And she actually planned to deliver eggs. I don't think she had any trickery. She was like, yeah, sure. I'm gonna exploit my power to have Sahelia produce the eggs on my behalf, but, like, they're gonna be eggs. And Sahelia instead actually delivered a murderer, or something like that. So who delivered the honey, and who delivered the juice? The honey was delivered with sedative in it, and it was delivered second. So we can write honey here. We could maybe also write sedative here. I don't know. And we think we know... Well, do I know who poisoned the honey? I think it must have been Lavumata? Maybe? Well, I mean, who's the other guardian? Guardian of Agriculture. We haven't really seen any evidence of him scheming in this at all, right? Well... Oh, he says he's delivering juice. Yeah, okay. And juice was first, right? So he's just like, boy, I sure hate delivering this guy juice. He's such a jerk. But he's not saying, oh, I'll poison this guy. So the last guardian, as I thought, Lavumata is the one delivering honey, and she's poisoning it. No. It's close, though. I don't have two of the Guardians switched, and I do have correctly what they were assigned to deliver. So the issue is one of them isn't planning to deliver the thing that they were assigned to. If I replace this with sedative, I mean, I assume it's, like, still true? He did plan to deliver honey and sedative. But here, it's not eggs they want. Like I said, there's one of these, it's suspicious that they didn't make these all yellow. They made one of them brown-yellow. So, like, this is a person. Kula planned to deliver the Dweller? I don't think so. Maybe. She did want to preserve the ancient practice, right? Or that's what I thought, anyway. Well, no. Lavu was the one who poisoned him. Which one of you is Kula again? You're Kula. You're indebted to someone. And it's Tissa. Because he voted with you. So you wouldn't, like, start killing him? I have done as you instructed. You are cooperating. But but you want it to be a secret. What have you done, you, that she has instructed? Sahelia is... she's in league with somebody. In part, like, one of the newcomers, or maybe the Tower Dweller. I don't know. Here's an interesting fact, actually. Yeah. This basket of allegedly eggs is in a separate room. Does this door close? I assume so. Hard to tell. But we think Lavu Mata was the killer. She just came in through the door, like, overnight when someone carried her in as a basket of eggs or something. Weird. And killed him. Then she hid in the basket. I think. They found the skeleton of the dead ancient sentinel, I think. So I don't want to put this in because it would confirm stuff for me, at least not until I think it's right, but... I think it's an ancient sentinel skeleton. I don't think it belongs to any of the people around here. I haven't quite put together, like, how all of this happened. But that seems like the scam that someone is running. It's Zubiri's scam, I just don't know quite how it all worked. I don't know, I'm gonna put Ancient Sentinel in here. Close. Access the Sentinel's Lodge? Could there be another word for that? I don't think so. Dead. The skeleton of the dead ancient sentinel, not the skeleton of the bones. Oh, maybe she accessed the lodge not using a door, but using a gift? Is that a weird way to put it? I mean, it's sort of, yeah, the fact that I can make this a totally wrong word and it still says 2 or fewer means I have one word wrong besides this one. I don't want to do this kind of brute forcing stuff. I'm not trying to, exactly. I think she accessed using the door, that's fair enough. A gift would also be a reasonable way to describe it. So one of these words is wrong, huh? So that means Lavu Mata must be correct. Because otherwise they would both be wrong. She accessed the Sentinel's Lodge using a door. Okay, that one might or might not be wrong. We know she wanted to preserve the ancient practice. I think that's all fine. He'd been sedated with honey, yes. She hid in a basket? Yeah? I mean, you could say she hid in a gift. But I think hid in a basket is at least as accurate. I must have the dead ancient sentinel. Like, I'm just describing him wrong somehow, I think. But how can I be? This all looks correct. Now, there's no other words you could put here that would mean ancient sentinel in a better way. Alright, well, let's turn my attention to these two, I guess, and see if one of them helps me understand this better. Kula, guardian of females. She was delivering eggs. But actually, she planned to deliver Lavu. That was her plan as well? No. She planned to deliver bones. No. I still haven't figured this out at all. The night immediately before the murder. Well, here, someone managed to steal the bones of an ancient skeleton. Yeah, that all makes... That's fine. Not ancient skeleton, ancient guardian, sentinel. Right? This has to be correct. Yeah. So they even call him an ancient sentinel. So... the skeleton of the ancient sentinel. That's correct. So how did the bones get into the room? Right? Lavu Mata was in on this, right? And she's the one who snuck in and killed him. She had access. Perhaps she snuck the skeleton in as well. Makes sense. But her job was to deliver the honey. Wasn't it? And you couldn't sneak the skeleton in with the honey. And furthermore, at the time the honey arrived, in day 2 or whatever, there was no skeleton here, clearly. And I mean, I can look here at like the to-do list. Fish and eggs. The fish were delivered like today. the eggs, allegedly, but actually a murderer, were delivered later. I mean, he's calling Tissa a traitor. I hope the little gnat enjoys what I give him, haha. I think he just means he's giving him shitty fish. Right? He doesn't mean he's giving him, like, murder. Or, you know, a person disguised as eggs. You know, the prince said, "Give me tasty fish." And our mischievous scamp gave him only yucky fish. I don't think he's... This is a very mild punishment for a traitor. But he's found someone who he believes is a traitor. And is delivering him fish, but not the good ones he caught, just the gross ones. So I think he really did just deliver fish. And then one more thing of gifts. He wants fruit juice. And he got fruit juice. Wait, did I just... no, this order's right. The juice came earlier. The eggs were last. So just juice, normal juice was delivered. Normal but yucky fish were delivered. Lavumata delivered honey. With sedative in it, but honey. And Kula planned to deliver a murderer. Slash, not actually eggs. And the murderer, I mean, seems to have been Lavumata, right? But it's not. I don't think they delivered the Tower Dweller. Like, they really did kill Tissa. So I guess my question is, who's still here? This is still the old Tower Dweller, right? It's not Zubiri, it's not Tissa, who's dead. It's not the Blade Master, so it can't be one of the Lemurian delegation. And I don't think it can be any of the locals. Even though one of them seems to have been working with the Tower Dweller, maybe. Maybe not. I thought someone might be working with the Tower Dweller. But always follow your motto. Still don't really know what this motto is. But, you know, if Zubiri was the one writing this, remember in the first mystery, he expressed curiosity about, hey, what's up with that door? Or the display on the wall of this complex. And he figured out how to get in and write this. He said, hey, I'm going to peel your bones. But the Tower Dweller is just like chilling, doing his thing, waiting for the next time someone gives him time. This panel is clearly trying to get me to understand something about how the murder was accomplished. And I'm not getting it. So let's get the chronology again here. Oh, I just got here. Sorry, guys. I was meditating. I was not hiding in a basket. Don't think about me being in a basket. I was meditating. This guy, like, these are all the Guardians, right? Yeah, all 4 of the Guardians are here. So this guy's like, oh, poor guy. He was a jerk. He stole all of our kids' gems, but, you know, he didn't deserve to die. As I ran here, I didn't notice it fly away while you were forcing down the door. Could it still be here, or is it long gone? This is, like, clearly here to entice the player to think about it being hidden. Whereas ordinarily you would think, oh, it must have just gone out the window. We've been punished by the Tower Dweller. This is its revenge. Turned our sentinel into bones and escaped. This is here to give you, like, something to assume is true, I guess. An alternative explanation for the exit. First, just minutes ago, we knocked on the door, no response. We were worried, so we forced it open. The room was empty but for the skeleton. Then y'all showed up, so... I mean... Okay, here's like the hammers they used to bash down the door. The door has been forced open. So it's not like these guys are lying about it necessarily. Although I think Zubiri somehow planned for this to happen. He's clearly the mastermind of all this. What's with the dead fish? Well, it's a half-eaten fish. It's a yucky fish. I don't know. I mean, Tissa ate it, tossed it away. Seems plausible. He had fried fish, right? Lavumato wanted to preserve the ancient practice, and so access to Sentinel's Lodge using a door or maybe a gift, and killed Tissa, who had been sedated with honey. Afterwards, the murderer hid in a basket. I think that's true too. Oh, maybe a gift. The next morning, the villagers found the skeleton of the ancient sentinel. They were really afraid of Tower Dweller. That all looks pretty unimpeachable. So, like, this murder happened overnight. It didn't happen, like, right before they forced the door open. So, I mean, the murderer could maybe have left using the window if they had the power of flight, but we know the idol is still up at the tower. No one involved in this scheme has access to idol powers. Like, if this word were sedative, then, like, putting the wrong word here still wouldn't show up as solved. But I don't really think they could insist on this being sedative when it actually was honey also with sedative in it. Yeah, like you can do this, but it's not going to help. I don't think eggs is going to help. We tried that earlier. And we had honey there at the time, but... I don't just have someone's name wrong, right? Kruplu Zarno. Yep. Lavu Mata, we know. Virlis Mongo. Yeah. Kula Sterna. Yeah. I don't get what I'm missing here. I don't even know what to try. Well, okay, I mean, I know what I could do. I could brute force more efficiently. I could use the power of brute force to see what word is wrong here. I could do something similar here, probably, right? Like... You can... Yeah, you can use the like 2 or fewer versus totally wrong to figure out which word is wrong if you want. For example, I could just change enough things here. Okay. Now I know, like, if I put this back, instead of saying Jianji, if I put the correct last name, Stirna, 2 or fewer are correct. So now anytime I get a word wrong here, say I say fish, it's still wrong. So like, this is one of the wrong words, and so is Jayan. So this is the only word that's wrong, which makes sense. So I could just try everything here, but like, what could it be? It's either a person or... Like, she didn't want to deliver the Tower Dweller, did she? No. We already tried Lavu Mata. Oops. I can just try all the nouns. I mean, it wasn't eggs, we knew that. It's not flesh, it's not a gift. It couldn't be idle, surely. Yeah. You can't deliver a whole lake. It wasn't juice, but I'll put it in. Like, none of this makes sense. So it's a person. Right? Deliver herself? Deliver Kula? No, because Lavumata is the one who snuck in. Deliver Sahelia? I don't quite understand this. So Kula... I always forget. Are you Kula? Yes. Yeah, I mean, I guess this makes sense. I understand you want to be concealed. Don't worry. So... Tell Momgo to come to my hut for the eggs. The basket will wait here. She's claiming she will be in the basket. And Zula Kula is planning to deliver Sahelia. But actually, someone else. came in, I think. Right? It was Lavumata. Like, those two words are both correct, aren't they? I didn't get that mixed up. Let's say I just replaced it with... Yeah, see, that's wrong. So this word was correct. Lavu. But it is interesting, two words are wrong. Still. Right? Because replacing just one of these words turns it into three words being wrong. So maybe it's not Tisagamini who's in here? But it is, right? Yeah. We proved that earlier, I think, somehow. I think the murderer hid in a basket. Well, these aren't really Tissa's bones, right? We proved that. Yeah, that's super wrong. It was Ancient Sentinel. Lavumata is the one who killed him. And she got in using, well, kind of using a basket in a way, right? Yeah, that's interesting. And she hid in that same basket, I guess. Oh my god, I still have the word golden here. What an idiot. How did that happen? I mean, she did enter via a door also. But okay, she used the basket. I don't think using the door was so wrong. Because that was the only word I had wrong ages ago when I was looking at this, right? Basket instead of door. She did come in through the door. Like, because someone carried her in while she was in a basket. But okay, fine. Lavumata promised Sahelia that she would hide in the basket to speak to the prince at night and convince him to leave Sahelia alone. Really? Sahelia... I knew Sahelia didn't want him killed. She just, like, wanted him to learn a lesson somehow. Speak to the prince to convince him to leave Sahelia alone? Instead, Lavu killed the sedated prince and threw his body in the lake for the fish to eat. Oh! That's why the fish had the ring in its mouth. I didn't realize that. Like, I didn't think about what had happened to his body. Okay. I knew it had been replaced. I didn't think about where it had gone. But the lake, obviously, they gave me clues for that. Then she placed the stolen skeleton in his bed and hid in the basket again. Once the body was found and more incredulous villagers arrived on scene, she slipped out, climbed out, and joined everyone. Huh. Like, here's these fish. And over here, there's like a fish with a ring, which we know the prince had. I sort of like, when I saw this, I was like, oh, I don't know. Maybe someone threw the ring in the lake. I didn't think about throwing the whole body in the lake, but snappers will devour a body in seconds, it said. So, okay, fair enough. That's a convenient body disposal method. Alright, well, that took me longer than I would have liked, but it was a good time. Still solving puzzles. Working out mysteries. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time for the thrilling conclusion.